She was the last pharaoh of Egypt, a queen of unmatched intelligence, charisma, and political genius. But when her empire stood on the edge of destruction, Cleopatra made a choice that would echo through history. This is not just the story of Cleopatra's death. It's the untold story of her final days, of love, betrayal, and a crumbling world, and of the queen who dared to challenge Rome itself. By 30 BCE, Egypt was no longer the mighty kingdom it once was. For centuries, the Nile had nourished one of the greatest civilizations on earth. But Rome was rising, and Egypt was next. Cleopatra VII was not just royalty. She was a living goddess. Educated in philosophy, politics, astronomy, and languages, she ruled not with brute force, but with strategy. But her throne was never secure. She came to power during a civil war. She won it through alliances, with Julius Caesar first, and then Mark Antony. Now both men were dead, and Rome had a new master, Octavian, the adopted son of Caesar, a man with one goal: to destroy Cleopatra and take Egypt. Cleopatra's final stand began with the Battle of Actium, a massive naval showdown off the coast of Greece. She and Antony commanded a fleet of over 500 ships. Octavian had fewer, but he had Agrippa, one of Rome's most brilliant naval minds. On September 2nd, 31 BCE, the fate of empires hung in the balance. Cleopatra's ships were large and heavily armed, but they were slow. Octavian's fleet cut them apart with speed and maneuverability. Then came the moment that shocked the world. Cleopatra's ship broke formation and fled. Antony followed. Their fleet collapsed. Their army surrendered. Back in Alexandria, they waited for Rome's vengeance. Back in Egypt, Cleopatra prepared for the end. She knew what would happen if Octavian captured her. She'd be paraded through Rome in chains, mocked, humiliated. The last queen of Egypt, reduced to a spectacle. So, she crafted her escape, not from Egypt, but from humiliation. Cleopatra began building her own tomb, next to the Temple of Isis, filled with gold, art, and all symbols of royal divinity. She told Octavian she wished to negotiate. She offered him treasure. She offered surrender. But behind closed doors, she was planning something else. A controlled ending, one that would preserve her legacy and deny Rome its prize. She was no fool. She sent her son Caesarion, the child of Julius Caesar, away from Egypt. Don't trust Rome, she told him. But it was already too late. Mark Antony, broken by defeat, still held on to hope. But false rumors reached him. Cleopatra had taken her own life. Distraught, Antony fell on his sword. But he didn't die. Not immediately. Word reached Cleopatra, and she had him brought to her, bleeding, barely conscious. In a final moment, they embraced one last time. Then Antony was gone. Cleopatra was now truly alone. On August 12th, 30 BCE, Cleopatra locked herself inside her mausoleum. According to legend, she wore royal robes, a crown of gold, and surrounded herself with treasures of the pharaohs. She held a deadly secret, a basket of figs, and hidden inside, a venomous asp. One bite, and it would be over. But the truth remains a mystery. Some say it wasn't a snake at all, that she used poison smuggled in a hairpin or a hidden vial of cyanide. We may never know. When Octavian's men arrived, the Queen of Egypt was dead, alongside two of her most loyal handmaidens, calm, silent, eternal. Octavian would never get his parade. Cleopatra had denied him that final victory. Caesarion was captured and executed. Egypt was absorbed into the Roman Empire. But Cleopatra's story lived on. She was remembered not as a victim, but as a woman who defied empires. Shakespeare called her Serpent of Old Nile, but others called her a genius, a ruler who mastered politics, seduction, and war. In a world ruled by men, she stood alone, and in the end, she chose her death on her own terms. History remembers Cleopatra as a temptress, a queen, a mystery. But her final days reveal something deeper: courage, control, and an unbreakable will. A queen would rather die a goddess than live as a trophy. Subscribe for more powerful stories from the ancient world. This was the untold story of Cleopatra's final days.